Okay, hi. Sorry. I'm probably sorry. Okay, we're recording. Okay. Okay, sorry. I'm here. I'm sorry. Okay, let me start. My name is Gaming, and this is my first time actually doing a live stream of any kind. So I'm a little flux. Okay, hi. Sorry. I'm probably sorry. Okay, we're recording. So forgive me for being a little new to this. However, I really wanted to live stream this game because I honestly really liked it when I played it before, and I really like this myth. So, and I guess I've just been on a bit of a Greek mythology vibe. So, if anyone knows the story of Eros and Psyche, that's what this is about. I'm not gonna reveal if you don't know, but honestly, I love Greek mythology, I love this game, and I want to share it with you guys. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Now that we have reached the palace, do you have any other instructions for the South Princess Psyche? None. You may leave. Respectfully, the young woman bows, taking 2 steps before exiting the hall. I'm sure her manners are of the utmost perfection. However, there's very little in me that cares to observe the moment. Before me lies treasures where the king's snake, whole countries can't ransom. Jewelry is the most precious gems, gold coins that shine so bright they reflect like mirrors. Wool shorn from well-kept stock and painted pottery so exquisite they could be national treasures. The intended recipient of this fine art works of art are none other than me. Psyche, whose beauty rivals that of Aphrodite. Psyche, our earthly Aphrodite. Something churns in the pit of my stomach as I recall some phrases shouted by the crowd at the amphitheater earlier today. My hands tremble and I swiftly turn my gaze away from the gifts before me. Wretched are the fates those who compete with the gods. Sounds of approaching footsteps have pulled me out my reverie. A small smile passes upon my lips as I turn around. Father! Mother! I have returned! Beloved Psyche, how showed out in my doorstep? It was well, Father. I see many tributes were offered to you. Indeed, Mother. Has there been any inquiries for my marriage while I was away? The brief glance they exchanged tell me all that I need to know. My heavy heart laid. I actually know in the actual myth that Psyche's marriage is actually kind of a point of contention because, well, in the myth, it's either Aphrodite or Eros himself who's trying to keep suitors away from her. Aphrodite because she's very jealous of Psyche's beauty, and Eros wants to keep her to himself. I'm gonna get more into why this is once the story gets more into it. But Psyche is going to be stuck in a very, very troubling family situation. Though many extol my beauty and virtues, none seem to actually desire to come close to me. It is as if I'm only valuable when viewed from a pedestal. I need not despair. Perhaps these people feel inadequate. They are unworthy. Father, the most richest and most noble of humans have all come to see me. Perhaps it is I they find faults in. Preposterous, Psyche, you are the most. Then how were my sisters married when they were even younger than I am now? Are the praises laid at my feet false? Panic and sadness spread across my parents' countenances. I hold my tongue, unable to admit my worst fear, unable to push out with my grievances. How can I tell them my marriage is only part of my worries? How can I say it out loud when the gods might be listening that I fear my existence is cursed? That fate may have something sinister waiting for me. The way people travel hundreds of miles just to see me, lay gifts at my feet, and sing my praises. It cannot have endeared me to the gods, I'm sure. If anything, I fear it will have angered them, Aphrodite in particular, as they compare us more often than I would like. Oh, sweetie, honey. Yes, he's pissed. And your future mother-in-law. So, you have a fate worse than death. A competition with the goddess is not only one I cannot win, but one I need to be dire to take part in, whether I am willing or not. Yeah, just ask Andromeda. She didn't even insult it was her mom, and she ended up chained to a rock. Opposing myself, I speak again. Father, I beseech you, I worry for my fate, for what I am destined to be. I cannot rest until I know what the gods have in store for me. Please, Father, is there anything you can do? Perhaps Yes, perhaps I can speak to the Oracle of Delphi. Oh, are you trying to doom your daughter? Because this is the way you doom your daughter, asked Oedipus, his parents, and are we getting Cadmus, who else? Oh, Chrysius. Yeah, don't speak to the Oracle of Delphi. It always just gets bad. For an audience with Apollo, would that soothe your mind, dear Psyche? Yes, a meeting up with Apollo will surely give you all the answers you need, dearest one. Thank you, Father, Mother. Be at ease, his daughter. The journey must have tired you out. Come, let Mother walk you to your chambers. A smile, though faint, lifts the corners of my lips as my mother fusses over me. For now, the presence of my family and the promise of getting an answer from Apollo self-soothes the anxiety of my heart. Oh, and thank you to whoever said my voice is nice. Honestly, I kind of get a little fluctuated. I'm not always sure if it does. But thank you. And yes, family drama and a Greek myth. Who knows? Shocking. I mean, it's not like this entire family is the world's most dysfunctional thing in the world. Seriously, the Olympian family picnic must be the stuff of nightmare. Oh, hey, Shadowrock. Thanks for coming. And thank you for joining us here. And Flourish. Thanks for saying my voice is nice. I clenched onto the fabric of my skirt to stop myself from standing up to pace. Father and Mother left for Delphi 5 days ago and they should be returning today. I wanted to come with them, but piety dictates I stay and wait for the news. To be a woman in ancient Greece. Your choices are either to be the mother of one of Zeus's kids, or dead. Sometimes both. Sorry, my grandma was asking me something. But propriety dictates that I stay and wait for news. I certainly has been a harrowing experience. I thought the anxiety of not knowing was bad, but I didn't expect waiting to be much more stressful. Yeah, that feeling of anxiety and not knowing what's to come, but all your senses are turned on. I know that feeling. And I think a lot of you know that too. In the end, I could not stand waiting in my room. I could barely stomach any food the whole day, worrying the maids to do their best to ease my tension, trying to ply me with offerings of pamper, comfort to no avail. Will my parents return? Your Highness needn't worry. It is a long journey. Perhaps the meeting has gone well, and their Majesties are kept for a royal celebration. Such an optimistic thought had never occurred to me. Could Mother and Father have been delayed due to good news? Fine. They went to see the Oracle. It is never good. You think so? Indeed, Your Highness, your beauty and faith, Your Highness' intent must be an exceptional being. Well, yes. I chuckled at her dreamy sigh. It would be good if that's all it is. The gods have already planned for me. That there is something inherently wrong for me. And yes, honestly, Psyche's story is one of the better ones because she, for reasons unknown, Eros' grandfather did not see a pretty princess and decide, you know what, she must be the love of my life. Screw my life. I am not her. In any case, he is in Her Majesty's should they return late. Oh yeah, I honestly love the music too. It's honestly, I don't know who composed it, but they did a great job. And thanks for just hopping in to say hi. I appreciate it. And in any case, prepare to receive Her Majesty's should they return late. Yes, Your Highness. In the end, the meal was ready. My parents returned by dawn. Upon hearing the news, I rushed to greet them in the hall. Welcome back, Father! Mother! Well, this seems to be the usual reaction to people commanding Greek mythology comes back from the Oracle. Both Father and Mother seem tired? Like they had rose through the night to get home. Mother's eyes are swollen under the hastily applied powder. Father's skin is pallid. There's a slight tremble to her shoulders. Mother, lean onto Father, and upright. Psyche, my daughter. His voice shakes. He breaks my mother's gaze. Tears roll down their gaunt cheeks, and her breath sobs. She staggers forward, gathering me to a frantic embrace. I gotta say, I love the characters of the designs on these models, and I like how the little roses in her hair seem one of her symbols actually is the rose, and I'm honestly wondering if they're going to include more butterfly imagery. I have played the game before, but I never could get to the happy end. Before it was the Eagle Challenge, and then it was the Underworld. My daughter, my poor, sweet daughter. Mother? What is it? Is something wrong? You know, honestly, not that bad of an idea. I know that or Eros scared him off, since Eros is supposed to be a god more powerful than even Zeus because he's able to string him around on a puppet string. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay. No matter how I ask or soothe her, Mother is inconsolable. Her grip around me is unmovable, like she is afraid to let go. And I'm sorry if my audio is a little weird. This is my first time doing this, so... But I thank you for anyone trying to help me with the audio. I want this to go well for everybody. No matter how I try to ask or soothe her, Mother is inconsolable. Her grip around me is immovable, like she is afraid to let go. Fear unfurls in my chest, staining my thoughts like blood on snow. I look at my father, whose face is turned ashen with lips tightened into a bruise. Father? Father, what happened? What did they say? A choked wail escapes my mother, while a poorly suppressed shudder travels through my father's body. Psyche, we came to meet the Oracle Delphi, and Apollo himself respond to us. Tears continue to stream freely down my mother's cheeks. My father speaks. What did they say, Father? He stops, his throat bobbing painfully. My mother's grasp of me has grown to be quite painful. The gods have decreed for you to marry. Yes, a prophecy is given for you to wed one more. You know, that's actually not a bad idea. Thanks, Shadow Rocks. Let's see if I can go to. That's actually not. Thanks for the help. Let's see, history, preferences. And yeah, it's might be a good idea I love the music in this, but I don't want to be fighting against it. Is that better? Let's see, auto forward, not volume. Let's go with that. There. That should make it a little easier. The gods have decreed for you to marry. Yes, a prophecy is given for you to wed one who is more mysterious and powerful than the gods themselves. Sorry about that, just being sure, just closing the door to my room. Anyway, for you, so as I was saying, Eros technically is all those things. He doesn't actually get along with Apollo for what happened with Daphne, and the fact that Apollo's lovers don't intend to last long, and he blames Eros for that. So him calling him a evil creature is not that far of a fetch. Oh, what? That's good. Thank you, and thank you for helping me with the audio. Shock overcomes me, but my mother's sharp cry easily punctuate any hope of elation. I school my expression cautious. A wedding? Yes, dear Psyche! We will make the preparations immediately! Sorry for sharing. Immediately, but Father! He turns before I can utter anything else, calling for the maid. A flurry of excited servants separate me and my mother. Eyes only speak of pain and terror, pulling me away to my room. Congratulations rain down upon me, but I can hardly hear their words. Doubt and uncertainty blanket my mind. What is going on? Why are my parents behaving like this? What is my father not telling me? A whirlwind of excitement sweeps through the castle. A week passes by with the promise for a most extravagant wedding in all the lands. News of the marriage of mortal Aphrodite with an otherworldly being spread far and wide, bringing thousands of gifts from well-wishers. Despite the outwardly joyous occasions, I feel suffocated by all the activities and use the first chance I get to sneak out of the palace. You know, I actually played the demo, and in the demo, this building was actually more, I guess, medieval than Grecian, so I'm glad they changed it, so I think this might be more of a temple. Wandering around the outside of the palace, I take a deep breath of sweet, open air and let myself think. The wedding is perhaps the most anticipated event within this region, yet certain important details, crucial ones, are left in the dark. For one, I've yet to hear the name of my intended or catch a glimpse of an invitation. As the daughter of a king, my wedding is supposed to be a grand, if not politically attractive affair. But regardless of my betrothed's position, other than my sisters, I do not know if anyone else will attend. The other strange thing is, I have not seen my wedding gown. Measurements were taken the very day my parents returned, but I have not been allowed to choose the fabric, and I have not spoken to the tailor even once. I have not been able to have a proper conversation with my parents either. My father always excuses himself with preparation business, while I could hardly catch a glimpse of my mother anyway. It is as if they are trying to avoid me. The bustling atmosphere keeps me busy, but it does not manage to quell my uneasiness. I know there is something they are not telling me. I know there must be more to this prophecy. I know this fear in my chest is not baseless. I know all of this is to keep me distracted. I have played along, hoping that explanation will be given to me in time. But the wedding day approaches, and no one has told me anything yet. That is why the opportunity. Honestly, but they are very good guitar players. But you are right. I honestly think it helps the atmosphere since all this anxiety must be causing Psyche a lot of misery. I mean, if your husband is supposed to be some supernatural being, but you haven't even heard who he's supposed to be, I think that would create I like how, honestly, I want to talk about this. I like how it creates the anxiety for Psyche. I mean, she knows nothing about her supposed husband yet, and for all that she knows, everything is just off. Really, I love how this part is written. That is why I took the opportunity to slip away from my gaggle of maidservants. Mother loves the garden, the only place she can always find peace when courtly duties prove to be too much. Tiptoeing along the path, I make my way towards my favorite rosebush. Sure enough, Mother is sitting there on the bench, a curious length of pure black fabric falling across her lap. She labors to embroider the garment, her long, pale fingers shaking. Mother! She startles, letting out a hiss when the needle pricks her skin. Psyche! What are you doing here? Where are the maids? They're taking care of the carriage and wedding flower arrangements. Aw, thank you, Shadowrocks. I thought I was being a little overdramatic with my lines. I'm glad to hear you like them. Flower arrangements, Mother. That's very good. I'm gonna just say, you need me to my mom. Mother, why have you not been speaking? Is it not my wedding? Would you not allow me to spend my remaining maiden days with you? As soon as the words escaped my lips, my mother's face crumbled, tears shining and heavy like the dark pearls on the fabric she had been bordering with down her cheek. Fear rears its ugly head, and an unknown shadow of realization seizes my heart. Mother, who is the one I am marrying? Psyche. Sorry. I am so sorry. My mother weeps, and with her tears comes the truth. I am to be wedded to a monster. The decree comes from Aphrodite, shared with my parents by Apollo himself. The words of the divine are final. There is no more than existence to change my fate now. My legs give up beneath me, and I collapse at my mother's feet. All my fears have been realized. All my worries have come true. I look up at my devastated mother now. I cannot wail. I cannot lament the fate I have always known will be me. All this time, everyone has been comparing me to Aphrodite. All this time, they worshipped me instead of the goddess of beauty. Like, This is the reason, is it not, Mother? This is the reason why the gods decided to punish me. I should have seen this coming. I should have stopped the people's praise before it spiraled so out of control. Something breaks in my chest. The unknowing has been scary, but the knowing and the acceptance that I'm helpless to fight fate are worse. This is all my fault. My mother drops to the ground beside me, shaking hands gathered in me into an embrace. No, sweet Psyche, it's not your fault. It's never your fault. I love till we have faces, and I love C.S. Lewis too. I actually, speaking of adaptations of the story, I've actually come across this one, a rock musical called Psyche, and I've been trying to find out more information on it. So if anyone could help out with that, that would be awesome. I would really like to listen to it. I knew when they started comparing me to the goddess of love, it would be the end of me. But I let it happen. I didn't stop them. Dearest, if this is your fault, then we are even more at fault. Yeah, thanks, Mom. I mean, like, you people not ever think about what the gods will do to you when you start comparing them to each other. And now I keep doing that. Look at what happened to poor Andromeda. She nearly got eaten because her mom compared her to the Naiades. Or how about who is Adonis's mother? Let's just say Adonis's mother's mother said she was as beautiful as Aphrodite, and let's just say Aphrodite said something so disgusting to the poor girl. You look it up. Just look it up because I didn't want to talk about it. But let's just say it's Oedipus engenderment. Her lips trembled carefully, futilely wiping away the tears. Oh yeah, definitely. We encouraged you to appear more before crowds, to meet more people, to accept our praises, even though we know you do not enjoy such appearances. Yeah, that's actually true. In the story, Psyche actually does not like being the center. I don't know if it's not that she doesn't like being the center of attention, or that she just doesn't like being compared to Aphrodite, because people more worship her than love her. And that's what she really wanted. We were too prideful. Who would not be knowing that you have birthed such a beautiful daughter? Again, lady. Look at your mistress. We wanted to show you off to the world, to boast about you and revel in the praises you receive. The praise you deserve. Well, thanks, Mom. Now I'm gonna get eaten by a monster. I'm so glad my beauty makes you feel good. But we were so foolish. We did not think. We ignored the feelings of those. Okay, at least you admit it. Feelings of those in the past now, and now we have to pay for these transgressions. My mother weeps while my own tears punish her to stop. Tears will not help us now. Tears will not save me from my demise. I actually really like how Psyche is portrayed here. I mean, you can tell that she does suffer from a lot of anxiety and fear, but she's one who is, but she at least has a hidden strength in her, if I have to put it. Which is honestly the Psyche I like to see. Psyche, I'm gonna be honest, with Psyche, in the adaptations, I like when she's just more of a normal person. She has an unstoppable beauty, but not an ultra badass, but just like an average girl who gets thrust into a different situation. I guess this is why I like Cinderella and Aurora, too. My tears will not quell the god's anger. Yes, this was a rock opera. I think it was premiered in 2014, and if you look it up, there's sites still up, but I haven't been able to find the soundtrack anymore. But yeah, I honestly agree with that interpretation. And I think after a while, it would at least get to be a point of creepy that all these people are worshiping her as a goddess. And honestly, I like how in this adaptation of the story, she knows how this can come back to bite her in the end. And I think that shows, but she still wants to comply with her parents' wishes. Yeah, I think it's a unique take, and I really love how she is written. The only offering we can give is my existence. The feast starts at dawn with the nuptial sacrificial meal. Our guests only include the palace staff, my family, and some townsfolk. Thanks a lot, jerks. You got me. You're gonna get me killed. For the wedding of a princess, it is modest at best. It is no surprise that the table in front of mine is empty. There will be no groom for this wedding. The wedding itself bears the own funeral. The feast is quiet. No music is playing. No conversation. The guests try to make a little noise if possible, keeping their eyes glued to the food in front of them. Silence is only punctuated by my mother's sharp sob. She is barely held up by the maid servants around her as despair colors her entire being. She is already in mourning. Mourning for me. I look down, unable to meet my father's broken gaze. The black veil drapes over my body. The black veil drapes over my body, shimmering with pearls, heavy, my face. The bridal procession begins at that. Honestly, yeah, and you can honestly trace a lot of these classic fairy tales to this story, like Beauty and the Beast. Yes, Eros didn't turn into a beast, but he's still a person. But it's still a princess, and with two mean older sisters who ends up in a palace with a husband she can't see, so she has to depend on his personality to be what makes her fall in love with him. Oh, and Beauty and the Beast is also written by a woman, so that's cool. The bridal, like her husband was a complete jerk, and I think she lived a common marriage with another guy. I'll have to look up Madame de Villeneuve sometime again. Oh yeah, this is actually the castle I saw in the demo. I mean, I think I'll have to replay the demo sometime. The bridal procession begins at dusk. Up to the mountain we march. Or I actually think they might have reused it for this scene since it's supposed to be a different place. My parents hold each of my hands, trembling as if it is their own execution. Vaguely, I hear my sisters wail. They have traveled all this way to watch me be sacrificed. I walk behind two torchbearers, letting my tears fall behind the veils. Now that I am to face my gruesome fate, none of my followers are here. No more praises, no offerings are laid at my feet. No passionate cry, declaring I am their earthly Aphrodite. Soon. Too soon we come to a stop. A large, desolate rock and clearing candles encircling it. My heart sinks with every step. I cannot tell whether it is me who is shaking or my parents. When the castle guards come to take me, they have to pry my father's grip off my hand, while my mother falls to the ground, her body becomes limp. A sob bubbles forth from my chest as I feel iron clamps around my wrist. The dumbness that has haunted me since I found out the truth about my wedding shatters into inevitable life. The fear I have been fighting to keep at bay consumes me. Well, thank you, Floroche. Floroche. I hope we can I hope your friend can find a lead, and thank you so much. Oh, and thank you. I have a water bottle next to me. Actually, that's a good point. Thanks for the reminder, Shadow Rocks, and thank you, Floroche. I really want to find out more about that theater production because it was only done once, but I've seen the trailers, and I think it's really interesting. The fear I have been fighting to keep it vacant. In the darkness, I watch as the crowd recedes, leaving me behind, helpless and chained, so that my fate cannot be avoided due to cowardice. It's actually kind of interesting because I know Andromeda actually did not want to be sacrificed to Sepsis, and that's why she was actually chained to the rock instead of just left there. I mean, being 15 years old and being sacrificed over a stupid reason is honestly pretty understandable, but it was actually her screams for help that actually alerted Perseus to her. I think it was Psyche and one other princess that willingly offered themselves. So I'm glad I'm glad that's represented here. I strain my ears to listen to my mother's wails as she is forcibly dragged away. I try to hold on to my father's last hopeless, tearful gaze as he walks away, head bowed, defeated. I am truly alone now. Alone, to face the punishment from the gods, as I have always feared. And from there is nothing I can do but cry. I mourn for myself, knowing life will soon be stripped away from me. I should have put a stop to it. I should have stayed away. I should have appeased the gods sooner. But all I can do is cry. I cry until my body, week after weeks of stress, gives out. Perhaps this is a small blessing. A mercy to not be awake when I'm devoured whole or whatever else monster or due to his pride. Yeah, that I know what she's talking about. The wind tenderly brushes my tears, lulling me to a merciful sleep at the peak of my devastation. In the darkness, my body is weightless, as if it's wrapped in a breeze. I feel myself being lifted. Is this the end? But no foul breath comes to scorch my skin. No razor teeth tear into my flesh. Yeah, I can honestly feel the dryness in my voice, especially with me trying to keep my acting skills. I was actually in drama, so yeah. But thanks for the tip. No monster arrives to end my life. Instead, I find myself flying. Floating is a more accurate description, with the gentle wind curling around my body. Perhaps this is but an illusion. An effect caused by the venom of such a fearsome beast that my mind is making one last desperate attempt to soothe her soul. I think that's supposed to be my soul, but I like the connotations. Perhaps my mortal body has already given up, and my soul has been carried by Hermes himself. Over hills, over lands, over fields full of flowers. A foreign sound makes itself known to my numbed mind. Water? So it is the river Styx I was taking, she said. I keep my eyes shut, dreading the moment when Karen would eventually call out for me. That's actually a good point. Were they just going to abandon her body? Because in Greek mythology, it's not only important but imperative that they are actually buried properly. Because if they're not buried with the 2 coins on the eyes, they can't pay Charon. And their souls are just left to wander the river Styx. Again, thanks mom and dad. Oh, me too. Honestly, I really love the pseudo-romance between Perseus and Andromeda because I think it's pretty cute. I like to imagine that Perseus is just an awkward mama's boy who's never really talked to a girl before, so when he meets Andromeda, he doesn't know what to do. And yeah. Despair churns with every sound the stream makes. At least it has been painless. My wounded heart is never as thought. Much as my last night in the mortal realms, I am afraid to move. Afraid to make even a sound. My desolation has been a physical thing. And I know my mind should pain like cling to my body. But is it a body I still have? Or am I now but a one? Well, at least I know how to access the menu quickly. Or am I now but a wandering soul, waiting for her turn to place the coins into the ferryman's dreadful hand? Or not, because my parents literally ditched me on the side of a cliff. I lie very still. But actually, that's actually a nice reference to what I was talking about before. I lie very still, listening to the running water, feeling a cold breeze rustling above my brows, clutching at the hem of my gown. Why is the fragrance of fresh flowers and morning dew that the wind carries not that terrible stench of death? Why is the water so gentle, neither crashing nor filled with the wails of the departed? Why is it the warmth of the sun that caresses my skin? Is this another cruel trick of the gods? Like a trapped bird, my heart flutters frantically. Daringly, I peek out from under trembling lashes. Sparkling sunlight fills my vision. Startled, I cannot help but open my eyes, feasting upon the sight of beautiful gardens that surround me with its abundance of green leaves and blooming flowers. Hyacinths, lilies, and narcissus, all vivid in color, sway before me, stare in astonishment. I have to say, I like how it's specifically pointed out. Hyacinths and narcissus are specifically the ones given their significance in Greek mythology. As we know, Narcissus was the guy who fell in love with his own reflection after spurning many suitors, both male and female. As for Hyacinthus, they were created after Apollo's lover Hyacinthus, who is a Princess Sparta, after Zephyr got jealous of Apollo and Hyacinthus' relationship. I'm actually not sure why, speaking of Zephyrus, I'm actually not sure why he serves Eros in this. I don't know, maybe there's another guy he likes and wants to get with him. As for lilies, I'm not sure about their significance, but they are mentioned specifically here, so if anyone knows what that could mean, I would love to see it in the chat. Just beyond the greenery lies a magnificent state, fitting for one seated upon Olympus. Gold columns accented, glisten in the early light. Marble walls lined with statues pour water into a dancing stream, which flows adjacent to the Guardian. I'm surprised he doesn't think this is Elysium. Am I not dead? Oh yeah, I actually think they could be too. I mean, Andromeda was probably dead long before Psyche was born, given the Eros and Psyche is a much newer one, and our earliest version of it is probably 400 BC, and the earliest with a terracotta statue of them. And so, but I don't actually think that Andromeda and Psyche would be able to understand. Cool. I actually like the Daphne. I'm not the biggest fan of Persona, honestly, for how they portray God in it. But that's actually good to know. Thank you, Farosh. Yeah, honestly, that's why I really do love this game. You can tell the developers of Heart and Soul really do love Greek mythology, and are willing to, and wanted to include as many references to other things as possible. This is actually not the only reference. You'll see it as we get more into the game, but they even mention Eros' siblings. Am I not dead? Thank you, Flaroche. Gracefully I rise upon my feet. There is not a single being in sight, neither the whore foretold as my betrothed, nor the trembling wings of a single butterfly. Which you'll know a lot about coming up, Psyche. In the garments I am outfitted with, I cannot help but feel I stand out pitifully in this incredible scenery, no matter how extolled my beauty supposedly is. Will the host cast me out should I seek aid, or will they honor the gracious traditions of our culture? Cautiously, I enter the estate. Bare feet upon cool stone, even my feather falls. His footsteps seem too loud in the silence. For a place with such absolute splendor, it is empty, uninhabited, abandoned. But actually going back to the idea of Xena, which is what she was talking about there, honestly, this is why, if you know the story of the Iliad, this is actually why Paris was so hated. Yes, he technically had the authority of Aphrodite to take Helen, but the fact is, he did it while he was still a guest of Menelaus. And also, he stole a bunch of treasure and raided time. But that's not the important part. But the fact is that to the Greeks, he was committing a grave sin by doing this because Xena was supposedly from Zeus. And that's the main reason why Paris was so cowardly and hated. Well, thank you, Shadowrock. So, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. And thank you, Farosh, for looking it up, too. I think I read that there was a story about this that connects, but I'm not sure what it was. But yeah, that actually does make sense, since she's supposed to be getting married to Eros. Though I admire the beauty sprawling before me, my heart refuses to settle. Which, honestly, fair reaction. A dream, perhaps. It could be the unseen one has taken pity upon my soul and sent hypnos to use my journey. That's actually a good thing. They actually remember that people don't typically say Hades' real name. They'll call him a number of his epithets, but not because you'll attract the dead that way. Every room, every corridor I come across is empty. Silence is the sole ruler of this grand manor, and I find my fear returning with each step I take. It coils cold and threatening at the pit of my stomach, preparing to lunge like a vengeful serpent. There is an urge to run, but even if this is reality, where can I go? Lost and alone, how far can I run? But then, something more? Something soothing and tender touches despair in my heart. Thanks, Floroche. And yeah, it does make sense why it does make sense for this marriage. And actually, it's interesting because in the actual myth, she actually goes to a temple of Hera first, and Hera is actually unusually kind to her. I guess because she gets that. I guess it comes with not having slept with Zeus territory and being a woman and trying to find her husband again. But then, I cannot hear it, but the words pour into my mind, sudden yet calming, like sweet mead on a sweltering summer day. The house is for you. Come in and do not be afraid. Take a bath and we will honor you with a great dinner. And let's thank the voice. Feeling my courage return, I bow to the voice. I thank you for your hospitality. A gentle wind rustles through the vast corridors. It feels like approval. I find myself wandering deeper into the estate's sanctum, though it lacks the size of a palace. Each room is more extravagant and elaborate than I have yet to witness in my entirety. There are more storerooms filled with treasures and unimaginable, precious relics I have never seen before. I also find myself wondering who is the owner of such a wondrous place. It could be, questioning whether the mortal is likely to inhabit such grandeur. What I find even more perplexing, however, is that there seems to be no guard, no servant, watching over this domain beyond the mysterious voice from earlier. No sooner did that thought grace me that different voices resound throughout the room, though the area is empty. Welcome. This house is yours to reside in now. We are here to serve you in every way. Please be at ease. All your demands will be met. All your requests will be fulfilled. Thank you. You're not secretly House Appliances or Cutlery, right? No, that's Beauty and the Beast in the 1990s. Thank you. Invisible hands in the form of a quiet breeze guide me forward. Exhaustion wins over weariness. I let them lead me to a bathhouse, air steaming with familiar, comforting warmth. There I slip into the water and close my eyes, imagining that it is my old maidservants who are helping me scrubbing off the memories of my wedding. I love Dark Parables and Cursory, but I think you knew that already. My favorite character in Dark Parables has to be, honestly, Snow White. Probably. I mean, I think Hera is generally not the biggest fan of Aphrodite too, because she and her son can whip everybody into a frenzy, including her husband. And I mean, and honestly, the whole beauty contest between Athena, Hera, and Aphrodite is kind of dumb. I mean, my god, you're goddesses. Why are you getting some random mortal to judge you? I know Zeus was the one who chose him, but I guess fate. And thank you, Shadowrock. Left soft and relaxed after the bath, it is harder to resist when the unseen servants lead me to a dining table laid with a modest feast. I happily take stock of the well-prepared spread waiting for me. Bread, cheese, wine, egg cakes, roasted pheasant and honey pastries. It is nothing lavish, but it is comfortable, warm, and much needed. Only when I start eating do I realize how famished I am. I had not been able to stomach a crumb of bread all day yesterday after all. And honestly, the feast was pretty bad. Soft music begins to play. The musician's just as invisible as the other servants, but I do not find myself bothered. Despite my current situation being rather strange, it is still worlds better than the prophecy given to my parents. I'm not eaten or dead. My eyes begin to drift closed. Fatigue has settled in, and my tired, faded body is not any longer. You should rest now. It is getting late. Yeah. Their gentle nudges get my heavy feet moving. Resplendent corridors pass by in a blur. I move along, dozing until we stop before a grand marble door. The room inside is vast, dark, empty, and sparsely decorated. The only furniture I can see is a grand bed, enormous for one person sleeping alone. It looks exceedingly comfortable and inviting, but my step falls upon scene. Which is honestly a fair reaction. I mean, all of this is still weird, and I mean, you're not eating, but you still were supposed to marry a monster. Let's resist. I think that's the most visions of the unknown beast, my supposed husband. Honestly, yeah. I mean, you get why Snow White is the way she is, but you also can see why she's being a bit unreasonable. But you also know it's the effects of the false smear on her. You know, when she's a genuinely good person who loves her son, but so many decades of being without him have froze her good heart. Yeah, that is true. Honestly, Eris, I feel like she just wanted to cause trouble. That's it. Without trouble, what's she in charge of? But I do think Paris on his own is a freaking idiot. I mean, my god. I have an idea. I'm going to break into a guy's house while I'm supposed to be on a diplomatic mission for my people and steal his wife. I mean, she's basically mine, but I basically just see her as a trophy anyway. Who cares if she has opinions or whatever? Every idea will just make her love me anyway. Visions of the unknown beast, my supposed husband, that meant to devour me, fills my mind. I freeze, digging my feet despite the servant's insistence. The chamber is too large for just myself. Please, would it be possible for me to have a more modest quarter? The chamber is especially prepared for you. No other quarter is suitable. Other than yourselves, I am alone in this palace, correct? You are the only one at the moment, yes? Still unsure, I let the servants ease me into the bedroom. They helped me into a sleeping gown and lift the covers from me. Climbing in, I try to settle down. My fear is stubborn and invisible. It eats up any semblance of peace I regained upon arriving at this palace. Sleep is fitful at best, and I cannot help but wonder if I will be snatched away again tonight. My dreams are full of faceless people. Their chants and praises shake the sky as they pile treasures high up under my feet. I try to stop them, but I cannot seem to get a word out. Then the clouds part, and a giant clawed hand reaches out, plucking me from the mountain of treasure. The faceless people watch, silent as it takes me and my soundless screams deep in the bowels of Hades. I float in between slumber and wakefulness until ultimately staying on the slim line at the edge of consciousness. The room is dark, so even when I'm startled awake, I cannot tell what time of day it is. Though I try to keep myself from falling back to sleep, my exhaustion always wins. Long into my fitful sleep, I hear the door open. Startled and disoriented, I sit up and reach towards the side table, trying to light the oil lantern, which I'm going to regret in a couple of months. A big, firm hand causes me to nearly scream in fright. When it comes to Helen, I know she places a lot of blame on herself in the Iliad, but honestly, the most at fault here is Paris. I mean, even Paris or Aphrodite. I mean, she knew the most beautiful woman in the world is married, yet she's still making my ship come true. Shipping. ruining lives since 1600 BC. Anyway, and like Paris himself was already married to Oeni None. And honestly, the whole kidnapping of Helen just seems like he's doing it for his own gosh darn ego. Yeah, true. I mean, I will be fair and say that if they don't know that, then it does look like she just ran away. But either way, Paris broke Xena. Honestly, my interpretation is that Aphrodite made it easier for Paris to seduce. I say that with air quotes. Helen, and she was so and they ended up sleeping together. However, and she was so regretful about for cheating on her husband, she felt she had no choice to go with Paris. Hush, sweet Psyche. I meant you no harm. Who are you? What are you doing here? I recoil, trying to put some distance between myself and this stranger. He does not follow. Do not be frightened, dear Psyche. I am the one who brought you here, the one who freed you from the shackles that bound you. I am the lord of this estate. You are? I must thank you then for letting me stay in such a magnificent place. I keep my distance wary, which honestly makes sense if a strange man is in my room at night after I've been told I'm supposed to marry a monster. I'm going to be a little cautious around him. Especially in the world of ancient Greece. I mean, my god. With poor Alcmene, she thought she was sleeping with her own husband. And she still ends up and her son still ends up having to deal with Hera's wrath. Seriously, I feel bad for Heracles. If it is true, then I have escaped a terrible fate. But that does... I mean, Aphrodite got mad when a guy just toasted the ace. Hippolytus, he spurned all love. Which honestly, I think he's asexual and aromantic. But that does not guarantee I have not stumbled into something equally horrible. I cannot yet be certain this stranger is not a monster himself. Honestly, good on Psyche for being smart in this situation. I really do love how she is portrayed, though I said that already, so I'm not going to repeat myself. It unnerves me about my current standing. I do not know how to broach the subject, however. Not wanting to offend the lord of this estate, by so graciously providing me with shelter. There's no need to thank me. This property and all within it is yours. I hope that your life will be peaceful here. My life? Tell me, am I a prisoner here? I have no desire to imprison you, dear Psyche, but I'm afraid I must insist you not to leave. Okay, but like, who are you? No, I'm not going to tell you anything about that, but you're going to just have to trust me. Why is that? Aphrodite still demands for you to be punished, and has enlisted the help of many of the divine to hunt you down and down your whereabouts. Psyche herself has you in her sights, and I assure you, the goddess of fate will not hesitate to bring about your demise. Yeah, I actually think in one of the readings I read that the part of the prophecy her parents got is that he will be a winged, horrific creature that even gods fear and will bring about Psyche's death. So the prophecy is not over? There's more harm in store for me? I am afraid so, dear Psyche. I may have rescued you from the monster Aphrodite intended for you to marry, but I fear I have only stoked your rage. I slumped back against the bed. So my suspicion is true. The gods have not given up. This is only a mere respite. I say, will I be safe? I will do everything in my power. So if this estate is yours, and I am to live here, then who am I to you? How might I trust you? Dear Psyche, I am your husband. Easy admission renders me speechless. For a moment, I can only stare in the darkness, where the vague shape of my husband stands. But my husband, the husband predestined for me by the gods is a fearsome beast, a winged serpent, vile and more powerful than the gods themselves, one sent to devour me whole. Oh gosh darn it, Uncle. You make a girl not fall of you one time, you're labeled for life. It's not just one. You went to all my lovers who they threw them to love. Seriously, what is your problem? It's funny. soft chuckle. Yeah, Apollo and Eros don't like each other. A soft chuckle escapes from the blotched shadow. Despite my fear, I have a difficult time believing a vile monster can make such a sound. I can assure you, dearest Psyche, that I am neither a monster nor your devourer. I am not the betrothed Aphrodite intended for you, but I am indeed your husband now. I only wish to daughter upon you. Should you allow me to, the gods and goddesses will not be able to find you as long as you remain here. This is too good to be true. The divine do not give up their decreed punishment so easy. Who could be so powerful as to attempt to defy their will by housing me in both safety and secrecy? I understand that this is ungrateful of me to say, but after you have gone through so much trouble to rescue me, but how can I trust you when I cannot see you? I do not know your name. I do not know your face. How can I be certain you are not the monster here for my punishment? Again, I love smart Psyche. Smart Psyche. Phalanx rules are the vast humors. My last words echo in the darkness. The dark, empty air. For the briefest of seconds, I have thought this was just another strange dream. But then the shadow shape moves to it, circling the bed a bit closer. I gasp, trying to get away, but my wrist is once again caught in a powerful grasp. Sweet Psyche, just stop putting S names before Psyche. It's messing me up. Does my hand remind you of the talons of a monster? Is my breath foul and reeks of brimstone? Is my movement like that of a great serpent, slithering and poised to choke? No, and I mean you might be a shapeshifter. Feel my shape, dear Psyche. I regret that I cannot show you my face, but the gods can hear the prayers of mortals, and one accidental slip in your mind could bring about your downfall. The divine must not know where you are, and they know all too well where I reside. I am aware this is the smallest comfort I can offer, but please, have faith I do not seek to harm you. I simply cannot allow you to identify me. I actually really like that in this. I agree. I love her. I love how she does actually ask questions about what the heck is going on instead of just saying. I mean, it's perfectly fair for her to just happen to be alive, but I like that she actually is at. They show her curiosity from the beginning instead of just being, well, I guess my sister's saying she's a creep. I mean, the situation itself is odd. This guy comes claiming he's her husband, but I can't see him. And okay, so going. But please have faith. I do not seek to harm you. I simply cannot allow you to identify. I actually know there is one version of this myth I read is that if she knew that it was Eros, that was her husband, Aphrodite would be able to find her. And I actually like how this story does give a definitive reason of why Eros is keeping her inside his palace instead of it just. I forget why he does this in the myth, but it makes sense that he wants to protect her from his mother, for at least as long as he can. And if anyone knows that she's out there, yeah, it gives a reason why she can't speak. It gives it more of a reason why he's so scared for her to know who he is. I know there's also versions where he genuinely does want her to love him instead of feeling like she's forced to because he's a god. Will you truly not harm me? I am but a defenseless girl. My mother and father must believe I have perished. I have nowhere to turn to. No one knows where I am or if I'm even still alive. My life is in your hands. Will I be safe under your care? A gentle finger reaches out, catching the stray tear that has escaped without my knowledge. You speak the truth, dear Psyche. I shall never use my fear of disadvantages against you. Had I wanted to harm you, I would not have gone so far to provide you comfort. Yeah, actually, Eros was supposed to actually be the one to make her fall in love with a hideous beast or an abusive guy or whatever it is in the adaptation. Only for him to fall in love with her himself. Basically, basically what happened is when he stuck into his room, he actually did see that she was very beautiful and wanted to get a closer look. But she actually woke up and saw him. Well, not clearly. She was in that state where you're kind of awake but mostly asleep before falling back to sleep, and he accidentally pricked himself with his own arrow that he was supposed to shoot her with. Which, honestly, after all the trouble he's caused over the years with those arrows, fitting combat. I am no monster, Psyche, nor am I a mortal being, though I am not strong enough to defy the gods and step into the light with you. I shall devote my entire being to keeping you safe as long as I may hold my name in secret. This I swear by the rope of Styx. My breath catches. A vow in the name of Styx is unbreakable. If I can believe nothing else, I can believe this. Emboldened, I let my fingers explore. Strong arms linked to the broad shoulders, sculpted chest, proud spine. Soft tresses, framing jawlines, tall forehead, completed with a noble nose. A heady scent of cinnamon, suddenly warm and clearing and light, emits from his very skin. Patiently, he lets me feel his shape just as promised. There were no patches, the scales, or fur. Only the soft fabric of his clothes. His hands did not end with claws or talons. It was soft and slightly callous. No horns protrude from his silk-like hair, and no leathery wings grow from his back. To my surprise, there are in fact 2 wings protruding out from his shoulder blades, but they are soft and feathery to touch. Oh, I know. I have so many works in progress, but all of a sudden I get a new idea and I just want to do that. I want to complete one thing without my mind suddenly going to, you know what would be cool? Like all of a sudden I want to do an adaptation of Perseus and Andromeda, a version of the Trojan War from the perspective of Paris' first wife, but I still have like 7 different works in progress to do. So. I'm not sure what that's referring to, Fleur Rouge, but yeah. Honestly, oh, I get it, what you're saying. Yeah, Nemesis definitely did go light on him. I mean, let's be honest, he's the son of Aphrodite and Eros. His brothers are terror and fear. He's definitely not, he was definitely not a nice guy beforehand, but I like to think that his marriage to Psyche is what makes him more empathetic, I guess. Because he starts to understand the effects his own arrows do. And I think it's actually pretty in how love can hurt. The mysterious man before me, though not mortal, is no monster. Even without sight, I can tell he's a beautiful being, tall and handsome, just like the heroes depicted in epic poems. I actually like to think that she actually is kind of a mythology fangirl. Kind of. Is that, well, basically, she spent a lot of time inside because she was trying to avoid others, but doing so, she likes to read into ancient poems and always dreamed of finding love like Perseus and Andromeda, or Odysseus and Penelope. Relief and joy surge through me. However, she ends up being the hero of her own story. A choked sound presses it past my lips, a mixture between a sob and laughter. Thank you. Thank you for saving me! There's no need for appreciation, my dear, though you are sweet for expressing it. Words cannot express my gratitude. I was prepared to die. I was prepared to be devoured. I'm truly sorry you have been through such a traumatic ordeal. Know that you are safe now. You should rest. Thank you. But what about you? Will you rest? It is customary for husband and wives to sleep in separate rooms, but I find myself curious about the mysterious man's plans for the night. A warm hand reaches out and strokes my hair gently for a brief moment. Yes, but apart from you for tonight, I hope one day we will share this room. Since we cannot spend our days together, it would be nice to spend our nights near. But I have no desire to rush to accept such an arrangement now. We have time. Share a bedroom? Just the 2 of us? It seems ludicrous at first, considering I am speaking to a stranger. But maybe it would be nice. I hear the soft sounds of fabric rustling as my husband presumably shifts away from my bedside. So should we let him leave or ask him to stay? I think Eros is his... Oh yeah, Eros is his aunt. I think she's a daughter of Zeus. I think for this, I think she's been through a traumatic ordeal, but she did seem that she wanted him to stay, at least subconsciously, so let's ask him to stay. Because honestly, I do like how Eros and Psyche's relationship is written in this. You do not have to leave. Mortified, I stare up at the man before me, feeling my apologies, that was presumptuous of me. He, the lord of this house, my husband, chuckled. It's fine, my dear. I do not want to intrude upon your rest. This has all been very much for you, and I do not want to impose. He makes to move away. My hand reaches out to catch his arm, much to my own surprise and humiliation. Me too. But then I realize that my wanting for him to be close is not as shallow as physical attraction. Is this man, this husband of mine, together just to find me beautiful but undesirable like those who sung my empty praises? Did he only save me because I am just another artifact to look at? Like the piling treasures in my home? My husband, would you not stay with me? Did you wed me? Save me out of pity alone? Of course not, pure Psyche. How could you say so? Then why would you not stay? I wish to respect your space, my dear. I do not wish to push yourself into doing anything you do not wish for, especially if you are feeling indebted. That is not what I feel at all. I would feel safer, should you say. My request is met with silence. My heart flutters frantically. Was that too bold? Too shameless? Would he just walk away? Would he deny me this? I never sympathized. As you wish, dear Psyche. I hear his quiet footsteps carrying me from one side of the bed to the other. He leaves plenty of space between us across the feather-filled mattress. I would feel safer if you stayed close. My words are met with a soft sigh and a chuckle. Warm, muscled arms envelop me. For the first time in my life, I don't feel too quite alone. Though this is a far cry from how I imagined my wedding night to be, the comforting touch of a caring protector is exactly what I had hoped to find. Perhaps I will come to enjoy my life here alongside my new husband. I drift off to sleep within a few short moments. The knowledge that I have avoided a monster and somehow found a sanctuary soothing my troubled mind. I woke to find myself alone in a familiar bed. It is a disappointment not to get to see my new husband in his face bathed in the morning light. Though I suppose it is to be expected after what he told me of our circumstances last night. Even so, I miss his warmth and the comfort he offered. He makes this strange situation a little easier to bear. I call for the servants. Where is the lord of this house? When is he expected to return? His duties occupy most of his time. Usually he's arriving in the late evening. Are there any who live within a short distance of this estate? Perhaps I could meet them. There are not. I breathe out a sigh. I suppose even there are others nearby. Introducing myself could only put me in the danger of being discovered by Aphrodite. Seems I am meant to spend my days alone. At least my years in the castle have provided me for such monotony. In that case, I request a tour of the grounds after a breakfast. As you wish, Psyche. After getting dressed and consuming a meal of bread and porridge sweetened with honey, I opened the door to the garden. Though my shock at the sheer beauty of the garden, and thank you for everybody sticking around in this live stream. I know it's a little long. And yeah, I really do like how they're building it up. I played the game before and it gets better from here. I'm not gonna reveal it though. Though my shock and its pure beauty of the flowers and greenery is not as powerful as yesterday, I still gawk at the serenity of the surroundings. Mother would have loved this place. A pain goes through my heart as I think of my dear parents. They believe me to be endlessly suffering. Surely there must be a way to send word to my family that I have escaped such cruel fate. I'll inquire with my husband about having the servant draw up a letter. Putting thoughts of my loved ones aside, I survey the area more critically. I am certain I could spend some time here helping the servants tend to the flowers. Perhaps I could even take a couple of vibrant blooms and arrange them. It might please the gods if I offered up to them. But no sooner do I have thought that I noticed a small shrine in the corner of the garden. It would serve as a lovely, peaceful place to pray. Would it offend the gods to hear from me now? As disgraced as I am? I try not to fall into despair at the thought of the gods' mistakes with me. My husband might be able to offer some insight into the matter. He seems to have a connection to the divine beyond what even the greatest of mortals have. Shall we start to tour the grounds now? Back at my family's castle, I wouldn't have felt the need to smile and put on a facade in front of servants. I'm grateful I do not have the urge here. Miss Psyche, would you like to see first? We can show you the fields where we grow wheat and grapes, the pasture where the animals are raised, or the nearby forest. I did the fields the first time. I want to see how the forest go. A stroll through the forest sounds lovely. Take me there, please. As you wish. As I step into the forest, I am amazed by the ethereal ambience that I come to envelop us. I hear the sound of fluttering wings, and the whole area seems to glow. Though I am no stranger to trees and shrubbery, I have never seen such a vivid shades of green, nor have similar surroundings ever promoted such a feeling of mystery and magic. It's so beautiful here! I'm glad you think so. The voice that answered me does not belong to the servants accompanying me today. I whip around, searching for the speaker. Servants, are you there? No answer from my visible companions. Where could they have gone? Why would they have abandoned me? I'm afraid they were ordered away by their terrible, terrible master. Now it is just the two of us. The second time the mystery voice calls out to me, I realize that the deep sound feels familiar. My husband is here? I thought I was forbidden from seeing you, husband. You are, but that will not stop me from coming to see you, dear wife. It is the middle of the day. Are you not concerned with the risk? This is, I think... Well, if you do head out, I thank you so much for being part of my first dream, and I hope you'll see me next time. Yeah, and honestly, I can't wait to read your Briar Rose stick. I peer deeper into the trees, hoping to catch a glimpse. I hear deep laughter. It seems to echo off the trees, make the source of the sound hard to place. You should have more confidence in me, dear Psyche. You will not find me if it is against my will. Now close your eyes. I want to come closer. Let's just comply. I do as instructed, though the temptation peeks in my eyelids is hard to resist. Soft rustling of the tree leaves somewhat distracted. Footsteps approach me. It takes all my discipline to not run as rule is pulled over my eyes. Must I have cloth blocking my vision? I'm afraid so, dear Psyche. I need my hands to carry you, and I cannot risk you suddenly opening your eyes. You need your hands to what? No sooner do the words leave my mouth than my feet lift the ground. My husband has one arm around my back and the other supporting my knees, cradling me against his chest. I feel the wind gently ripple through my hair and body along with the continuous sensation of being lifted. Are we flying? Yes, we are. Do you like it? Of course, it's incredible. I've never even begun to imagine such an experience. One day I hope to do this and we can safely see the sky alongside me. I will try my best to wait patiently for that day. Where are we going now? That all depends on where you want to go. The servants will have yet to visit the fields and the pasture. Which would you like to see next? Let's just go off. Let's go to the pasture next. Meeting animals with you sounds lovely. As you wish, dear Psyche. Soon after, my husband eases my feet back onto the ground. I feel the cloth loosen and slip down from my feet. I will be right behind you, dear Psyche. What is stopping me from turning around and seeing your face? Nothing is stopping you from making an attempt, though I assure you that I can shield myself from view much faster than you turn your head. Really? Yes, although I would much prefer you not to test me like that. Hideous whirring. I focus my attention on the various types of livestock roaming around the still dormant grass. Sheep, goats, and the horses all walk through the pasture, a movement likely guided by my husband's unseen servants. Good luck on your anniversary date, and I can't wait to see them. Oh, how nice! Look at how many animals are here too, and I see some babies too! I hear warm laughter from behind me. Little lambs and calves are quite cute. Most are just babies old. So young and they can walk alongside the adults already? They grow so fast. Yes, indeed they do. Are you not very familiar with animals? No, my upbringing at the palace prohibited me from spending much time among them. I look forward to visiting them here and learning more about their nature and required care. If that would bring you joy, I will bring the servants about you returning here. They will share as much of their knowledge and expertise with you as you desire. That sounds amazing! Thank you, dear husband! Of course, for you, Psyche, I will do what I can. Now, how would you get close to them? The animals are all very sweet. you are ready to move on, simply close your eyes and raise your right arm. I will come to you right away. Alright, I bound forward to the flighty sheet. Curious how their wool would feel. Once I spent enough time getting to know the animals, I do as my husband instructed. Within moments, my vision becomes blocked by fabric. I'd like to take you to see the fields now. It is the only place left for you to see. Alright, let us head there. I love seeing crops. My husband scoots me up into his arms, allowing me to experience the feeling of life for a second time. But it is even more exhilarating than the first, now that I know exactly what is occurring, and I can fully enjoy it. All too soon, my fleeting time of flight is over. I actually like how they show that she really likes flight, because, well, she will get wings at the end. Or if I play my cards right. The wind brushing past me slows it to its normal speed, and my husband sets me down safely onto the solid ground. Are we here? May I take a look around? Just a moment, dear Psyche. I will remain behind you as you observe, so do not turn around. I will do as you say, husband. I feel a sudden pressure on the back of my neck, and my husband unties the cloths wrapped around my eyes. Having spent a short amount of time unable to see much of anything, even the empty wheat fields and dormant grapevines appear beautiful to my eyes. Oh, how lovely! Are the servants preparing to plant the wheat crop soon? Should I be of some assistance? Indeed they are. Are you accustomed to such tasks? I would not have expected a mortal princess to know much about agriculture. But you are right about that. I have hardly spent any time outdoors. I would likely be a nuisance. Even so, I would really like to learn. The process of being cooped up alone indoors for the foreseeable future is unbearable. It would be nice to engage in a wide variety of activities across the state. That's what I really like about this game, is that you see that Psyche, which is not having to comply to what her parents' wishes, what society expects. She's allowed to just enjoy activities that would not be expected of a princess. That's honestly my favorite part of this game. We'll get more into why as the game progresses, but that is something I really do like in this. Alright, I will inform the servants of your intent and to help instruct you in whatever it is you wish to know. Thank you! There's no need to thank me. Your request is one that brings the happiness to you at no cost to myself, so I see no reason to refuse. As limited as your lifestyle is now, it brings me pleasure to visit you whenever I can. This is certainly more than I could have ever hoped, given my situation. You could have locked me in the storeroom and called your goal of keeping me safe complete. Though my tone is teasing, there is truth to my words. I would have likely faced death if I leave this place, once the hands of goddess Aphrodite. Worse, she's your mother-in-law now. A fate worse than death. Happiness is not a luxury when torture is the alternative. The man who calls himself my husband does not owe me anything. To find the gods spare me from painful demise more than I could possibly expect from anyone. Left alone, helping me to be comfortable and cared for while doing so. That's actually a very interesting case. Yeah, technically he could do that in holiday. I stiffen in surprise as two strong arms wrap around my waist and secure me against my husband's broad chest. His chin comes to rest atop my head. It is true that I brought you here to save you from fate, but I also brought you here to be with me, to be happy. I do not wish you imprisonment any more than necessary, and I truly hope that you will be able to enjoy your days here. I will spend as much time with you as I can, and hope that will be enough to stave off loneliness. He gives me a gentle squeeze. My heart isn't sure whether to smoke from or race this touch. We will get through this together, I promise you. Thank you, husband. Truly, I feel comfortable that I survived these trying times with you near. I close my eyes, basking in the warmth of his skin and the cinnamon scent of his hair. This is my life now, and it does not seem so bad. Are you ready to move on from the fields? Yes, let us continue. My husband ties the cloth across my face once again, submerging my view of the fields into darkness. I believe you have seen all the estate grounds, my love. I feel myself being lifted from the ground of his light once again. I will escort you back to your home now, dear wife. I will have to resume my duties afterwards, but I will return again tonight. Unless we leave so soon, perhaps we could dine together for lunch. Anxiety overwhelms me as I finish speaking. As much as I would like this company, it would be very unusual for a man to eat in the same room as his wife. Although, considering that my husband does not mind sharing a bedchamber, Maybe sharing a table's not so far-fetched? Another time, my love, I promise you. But today, I must return. There's much turmoil over your disappearance among the otherworldly, and I do not wish to arouse suspicion for a prolonged absence. Besides, my mom's freaking throwing a fit. Shoot, I revealed my identity. Bubbles? Nope. I see. A troubling thought occurs to me. Does my presence here endanger you, husband? His warm hands hold me tighter to let me fly. Do not waste your thoughts worrying about my well-being, sweet Psyche. The gods need me as much as they fear me. Just as the mortals do. There's no reason for you to be concerned. My fear eases, but my curiosity grows. Just who or what could my husband be that would grant him so much power over my world and the divine? His grip around my knees lessens, my feet touch the solid ground. The servants will assist you with the cloth when I'm out of sight. I will see you again very soon, my love. Within a few moments, I feel a slight pressure on the back of my head as the servant undoes my husband's handiwork. I cannot help but glance up in hopes of catching a glimpse of my husband as he flies away. My effort is in vain. He is gone. We welcome you, Richard. Please make yourself comfortable. Lunch is ready to be served. After a satisfying lunch, I tried to determine how best to spend my evenings here. Back in my parents' palace, I would have normally devoted quite some time to prayer and the offering of gods. I continued out my praise for welcome after evading Aphrodite's fantasy. I'm sure there will always be something within these walls that would occupy my time. Perhaps I could chat with the servants or explore the riches held in the storm rooms. I could always devote my time to beauty, rest, and rejuvenation as well. Maybe my husband would appreciate my efforts. Well, I'm not surprised. It only seems to have been performed once in Los Angeles, but I really hope I can find more information about it. But just the fact that you asked your friend is more than I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, Fleur Rose. I blushed at the thought of attracting his attention to my appearance, but called for the servant no less. What is it that you require? Could you bath, please? It shall be done at once. After relaxing back, I resigned myself to the master's bedroom and prepared for sleep. So I lay in bed with my eyes closed, the anticipation of my husband's arrival at any moment keeps me awake. Before long, I hear the door open and his soft steps from the door to our bed. Are you awake, my love? His voice is barely a whisper, as if not to awaken me from my sleep with a start. Yes, I am. The thought of your return kept me awake. Was it distressing to you, the idea that I will come to this room? No, in fact, I think this would be better. Is that really how you feel? You feel happy to see me? Well, yes. The hours without you seem to pass so much slower than the time we spent together. I enjoy your company. My husband stretches one arm across my body, pulling me in for a loose embrace. I miss you so much, my love. Seeing you earlier this day, how the great, most joyous parts of my life. I never realized how pleasant it could be to have a wife in return. Tonight is the first time it really felt like a home. Aw, that's actually. I snuggled closer to him, his words bringing me happiness. It never occurred to me that I could ever be much. You act as if you trusted me already. I do. I suppose one could say I fell in love with you at first sight. Literally, my arrows do. Thank you for giving away my identity. I laughed. I thought this was so boring. It is as if Eros struck you with his arrow. How do you know who I am? I feel my husband's breath upon my skin as he plants a kiss upon my skin. He then pulls away. You're onto something, my love. It is exactly like that. It is exactly that. I lay my head across his shoulder, beyond pleased at the prospect of our union being so blessed. I can think of no greater sign we are meant to be that together than to be matched with God himself. Truthfully, my darling, neither can I. There is another matter I wish to discuss with you, if that is alright. Of course, my darling, what's on your mind? Are the gods so obsessed that they no longer wish to hear my prayers? My husband falls silent for a moment. Are my relationships with the divine as damaged as I fear? Is there no hope of reparation? I do not think the gods would be offended if we prayed to Psyche, almost have turned against you in solidarity with Aphrodite. I will commune with Psyche on the subject of your fate tomorrow. Perhaps with enough devotion, soon the divine may be persuaded to help you avoid a disastrous future should it befall you. Will it? Am I truly doomed? No, my love. As I told you last night, as long as you remain here in ignorance of my identity, you will be safe. So, if I leave and find out who you are, I am in danger again. But there is a chance that God or Goddess could help me. Correct. Fingers brush against my forearm, trying to read the lines now within. Let us hope it will never come to that your time here will be without end. Even so, I will gather the names of the gods and goddesses who will be willing to assist you. Focus your prayers and offerings on them. Alright then, I will. Your advice on the matter is much appreciated, though you can rest assured I have no desire to incite Aphrodite's wrath any further. Good. His hands move up to my forehead and he gently rubs my felt temples. You should rest as well. Be assured that you are safe here with me. To be honest, surprised, I'm starting to believe that. Whoever my husband is, I have faith he can shield me from Aphrodite, and anyone else who wishes me ill will. I drift off to sleep, being comforted in the fact that my mysterious protector is close by. Alright, this seems like a great place to leave it off. So next time we're gonna try to so in this chapter we nearly died, but we were saved by our mysterious shadowy husband that's totally not Eros. And our mother to kill us. So tomorrow we're gonna try to incite the gods to be on our side versus Aphrodite's. And we're gonna need to learn more about this mysterious place. And probably have to deal with our sisters. Anyways, thank you for watching my live stream. I know I'm still new at this, and I probably am not the best at it, but I really am grateful to anyone who took the time out of their busy day and came in to watch this. I really do love this game, and I'm glad I can share it with all of you. Thank you. Actually, here. And yes, it's not like I'm totally Eros or something. So really, so I'll be ending it off here, and thank you for everyone, and thank you to everyone who's spoken in the chat and took time to come see me. I'll be recording again tomorrow at 6 p.m. And I'm hoping to end this off on Valentine's Day. I know there are multiple endings, so I'll let you judge if I should do those or not. So bye!